All over the world, numerous amounts of crimes happen in seconds. Some willingly partaking and some unknowingly. But we will never stop spreading the word until the criminals are captured.
6 o'clock, a chilling incident in the Willowbrook area. A woman says she was poisoned outside of a bar.
Yeah, she's tracing it all back to a tissue left at her car door. She posted about the bizarre string of events on her Instagram, and tonight that post is going viral. KPRC2's Devin Clark is live with that story, and Devin, it's a pretty frightening story.
Frightening indeed, Keith. And in yellow, one moment she was living it up for her birthday. The next, she was living in fear, suffering bizarre symptoms, and now she's using that episode to make others more vigilant.
I could have died. I have my children, I have my husband.
Today, Erin Mims and her husband, Bobby Marshall, are back to working at their hair salon. But on Mims' birthday this past Tuesday, she wasn't sure she'd make it.
I felt like I couldn't breathe. My chest started hurting. I just was getting hot flashes. My heart was racing. Just a whole bunch of stuff. I told him, I don't feel okay. I think I need to go to the hospital.
She says it all began after leaving a birthday brunch at the Willowbrook Prospect Park Eat Drink Lounge and noticed a napkin like this one stuffed in her door handle.
I took it out with my nails and just threw it and got in the car, and then I asked him about it, and he said no, he didn't put a napkin in there.
Despite going back to wash her hands, Mims and Marshall believe whatever was on that tissue transferred onto her door handle and into her body.
My fingertips started tingling. In my mind, I'm thinking, I'm just overreacted.
Moments later, instead of heading to the spa, Mims was spending her special day fearing for her life in a hospital bed.
It's crazy. It just makes me think that we're not safe. You know, there's some crazy people going out in the world just doing things.
After running tests and flushing out her system, Mims says a doctor told her she'd suffered acute poisoning, but because there wasn't much of it in her system, they couldn't identify the substance. After posting her experience on social media, she learned she may not have been the only one targeted.
Someone reached out to me and they let me know that it wasn't just my car. They saw it on multiple cars.
Tonight, the couple says they've gained a new sense of awareness.
And it just make me watch my surroundings. I can read lips now, like from far away, like whatever it is, like I'm paying attention.
What if my husband wasn't there to bring me to the hospital immediately? Like, what would have happened?
Prospect Park staff says no comment. HPD says it is investigating this incident as a possible assault and asking anyone out there who has any information about it to give them a call. Meanwhile, that hospital that Mims went to, officials there saying that anyone who feels that they may have been poisoned should get emergency medical help immediately, and we have possible signs and symptoms on our website, click2houston.com.
Vigilant is the word. Vigilant is the word. I put it up there, so for some who don't know what it means, y'all can learn what it means. But vigilant is the word. Alert, aware, vigilant, watchful, however you want to say it. Now, this stuff has been going on for years. People just finally start doing it in different ways. But how many of y'all remember years ago when it started with the perfume? People trying to sell the perfume or leaving the perfume samples on your car. Years ago, it started that way. And remember how many people were saying they was smelling it and they got woozy and they felt like they was gonna pass out. And I believe some people actually passed out from it. So that started happening years ago. Now they're getting more slicker with it. I want to say more creative with it. They're using napkins and different stuff like that to do it with different chemicals, which is sad and it's crazy. So it's just people trying to take people out because they're demonic. And they're not happy with themselves and they're not happy. Like, how do you just go around I just want 10 people to fall dead today? Like, how do you, I don't understand. And I pray to God I never, ever get to that point in life to where I'm like, you know what? I just want to end somebody. Like, I pray I never get there. Like, I'm so happy this lady had her husband with her, but what about the single females? What about the single males? What about the single people who go out to have fun and, you know, like, what about the single folks? You know, like nowadays you can't even go out by yourself. It seems like you have to have somebody with you, you know. And I'm not that type of person. I personally love to like be by myself. I like to hang out with myself. I'm not like a crowd type of gal. So it kind of sucks because I'm stuck in the house, the safest place, with parentheses, with quotation marks, like, because nowhere is safe no more. And with that being said, we know certain people don't want to get involved with certain things, and that's understandable. Nobody wants to be talking to the police. Nobody wants to be writing statements. Nobody wants to do any of that stuff. But where do we draw the line at? If you know there's someone that you want to, like when I say be watchful, let's say you have a neighbor who lives alone, okay? You know for a fact your neighbor lives alone. You never see your neighbor with anybody. But when your neighbor leaves home, you see people coming around by your neighbor's house. And all of us, they're not going in the house, so you know they're not her company. But you keep seeing these certain particular people come into her house while she's gone. But you never see her with anybody. Do you give her a heads up and say, hey, neighbor, I noticed some people hanging around, or blah, da, 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 da? Or do you just shut up and assume that she knows? Although you never see her with anyone. Now, if she end up fucking dead, then you gonna feel sad. And how many people know people that were in that situation to where they like, dang, we should have said something. All we had to do was tell her this, and she probably would have been okay because she probably would have went and got some help or whatever. But all that extra, I don't want to be involved. When it's something simple like that, as small as that, like, there's been people hanging outside your house. I don't know if you know these people or not, but there's been people outside your house while you gone. And they come often, you know. So I want to know. So, like, where's the line drawn? Let's get into the discussion. Be alert, be aware, everywhere we go. Oh, and don't forget those rip ties tied on the car. That's what they call it, trafficking, human trafficking. That's a sign that somebody put those rip ties on there because they're tagging the girls that they want. I want to hear different experiences. Let's get into it. Until next time on CSWN. As we continue to pray for the healing of this nation and let God rule and reign, we won't stop fighting, because most of all, we want justice.